Ocean Shadows. Admiral Ilara Chen stood at the viewing platform of Mariana Command, Earth's most classified military installation. 3 kilometers beneath the Pacific Ocean's surface, she watched schools of bioluminescent fish dart past reinforced windows that separated her from crushing oceanic pressure. Behind her, holographic displays tracked the movements of 1,000 alien warships advancing toward humanity's outer colonies. "Status report," Chen demanded, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. Commander Nadia Santos stepped forward. "The Craxus Federation has seized control of New Horizon and Callisto Prime. They've established orbital superiority over Proxima b and have begun planetary bombardment. Civilian casualties are minimal thanks to early evacuation protocols, but our defensive forces are overwhelmed." Chen nodded. For over 2 centuries, humanity had carefully cultivated an image of technological inferiority and military weakness. After first contact revealed how drastically outmatched humans were compared to the established galactic powers, Earth's nations had made a unanimous decision. Rather than competing openly, they would hide their true capabilities. "And the Galactic Council's response?" Chen asked, already knowing the answer. Director Kaido Tanaka, head of intelligence, answered with poorly disguised contempt. "The Council has suggested we negotiate surrender terms with the Craxus. They're offering to mediate, but their proposal includes ceding all outer colony territories." "Of course they are," Chen murmured. Earth's representatives to the Council had played their roles perfectly for generations, appearing appropriately humble, accepting technological assistance that was decades behind what humanity had secretly developed, and maintaining a publicly known defense force of only 300 outdated ships. The truth was something else entirely. "Operation Poseidon status?" Chen asked, turning to Fleet Marshal Ibrahim Okafor. "All stations report ready, Admiral," Okafor replied, his deep voice echoing in the command center. 1 million vessels await your order. Deployment sequences have been rehearsed quarterly for the past 50 years. We can surface the entire fleet within 6 hours." Chen felt a momentary surge of pride. For 200 years, humans had worked in secret, building vast underwater shipyards in ocean trenches and beneath continental shelves. Facilities the size of cities operated completely undetected by alien sensors, which couldn't penetrate kilometers of seawater. The result was the largest armada ever assembled in galactic history, hidden beneath Earth's waves. "The Craxus ambassador is demanding your response to the Council's recommendation," Director Tanaka said, interrupting Chen's thoughts. "They're becoming impatient." "Let them wait a little longer," Chen replied. She moved to the central command table, where a holographic projection displayed Earth, its oceans glowing with the hidden positions of the underwater fleet. It's time humanity stopped pretending. The command staff fell silent. They had trained for this moment their entire careers, but the weight of what they were about to do, revealing humanity's greatest deception and forever changing Earth's place in the galaxy, pressed heavily on everyone in the room. "Initiate Operation Poseidon," Chen ordered. "Authentication code, Leviathan Rising." Throughout the command center, officers moved with practiced efficiency. The coded signal transmitted to bases hidden beneath every ocean on Earth. In the mid-Atlantic ridge, massive underwater doors began to open. In the Indian Ocean, what appeared to be seamounts shifted position, revealing launch bays kilometers across. Beneath the Arctic ice and Antarctic shelves, stealth dreadnoughts powered up engines that had never been ignited outside of testing chambers. Captain Damien Ray stood on the bridge of the destroyer Kraken's Wrath, 3 kilometers below the South Pacific. His vessel, like thousands of others in the launch bay, had never seen sunlight. For 15 years, he had trained for this day. "All systems nominal, Captain," his first officer reported. "Launch bay doors opening." Ray felt a slight vibration as the massive artificial seafloor above them slid apart, revealing the open ocean. "Begin ascent." Formation Delta 7. Throughout the Kraken's Wrath, the 400-person crew moved with precise coordination. The destroyer's anti-gravity engines hummed to life, lifting the sleek vessel toward the surface. Similar scenes played out across Earth's oceans. In the North Atlantic, Commander Sophia Rise watched as her battle group of 300 vessels rose through dark waters. In the Indian Ocean, Vice Admiral Hiroshi Nakamura led a formation of carriers toward the surface, their hulls shedding seawater as they emerged into daylight for the first time. On orbital monitoring stations, unprivileged human technicians watched their instruments in confusion and growing alarm. "Sir, I'm detecting massive thermal anomalies throughout the Pacific Basin," one called out. "Similar readings from the Atlantic, Indian, and Arctic. Energy signatures unlike anything I've ever seen." Station Commander Jacqueline Wu kept her face carefully neutral. Like all high-ranking officers, she knew what was happening, though she'd never been told the full scale of the operation. "Contact Earth Fleet Command, Priority Channel," she said calmly. In his flagship orbiting Mars, Craxus Commander Vextor received increasingly frantic reports from his sensor officers. "Supreme Commander, Earth's oceans are showing unusual activity. Energy signatures unlike anything in our database." Vextor frowned. The humans were a minor power with outdated technology. Their fleet consisted of barely 300 vessels, most of which were currently docked at their lunar base. "Specify unusual activity," he demanded. The sensor officer's voice trembled slightly. "Sir, I'm detecting vessels rising from the oceans. Many vessels. Hundreds, thousands of them." Vextor moved quickly to the main tactical display. The holographic image of Earth appeared with bright dots representing detected vessels. At first, there were just a few hundred near major coastlines. Then suddenly thousands more appeared, rising from ocean depths worldwide. "This is impossible," Vextor whispered. "Check your sensors again." "Sensors are functioning correctly, Supreme Commander. I'm now tracking over 50,000 vessels. 100,000. 200,000. Vextor stared in disbelief as the count continued rising. How could the humans have hidden such a fleet? Where had they built these ships? The Craxes had spies in every human shipyard, monitors on every orbital platform. Their production capacity was assessed at fewer than 300 vessels. "Sir, the count has passed 500,000 and is still climbing." In the Galactic Council chamber, emergency alarms sounded as the first reports arrived. Representatives from 200 species gathered around display screens showing the impossible sight: Earth, the supposedly minor power, launching what appeared to be the largest fleet ever assembled in galactic history. "This cannot be real," the Arterian delegate insisted. "It must be some form of illusion or sensor trick." But the images kept coming. Ships rising from oceans worldwide, vessels of advanced design with weapon systems that matched or exceeded those of the major powers. And the numbers kept growing. Admiral Chen watched with satisfaction as the tactical display updated. First wave surface complete. 250,000 vessels now in low Earth orbit. Second wave beginning ascent. Director Tanaka approached with a slight smile. "The Craxus communications channels are in chaos. Their embassy is demanding explanations. I think it's time we give them one," Chen replied. "Open a channel to all Galactic Council frequencies." Chen's face appeared on communication screens across thousands of worlds, in the council chamber itself, on Craxus vessels, and in the embassies of every spacefaring species on Earth. "This is Admiral Ilara Chen of Earth Fleet Command. For centuries, humanity has endured the patronizing treatment of the older galactic civilizations. We have been dismissed as insignificant, our territories encroached upon, our rights ignored. The attack on our colonies by the Craxus Federation and the Council's response suggesting we surrender has forced our hand." Behind her, the camera showed Earth from orbit, where hundreds of thousands of warships now moved into formation, with more constantly surfacing from the oceans below. "As you can see, humanity is not as defenseless as you believed. We possess not the 300 ships listed in your registry, but 1 million warships of advanced design. They have been constructed in secret beneath our oceans, away from your prying sensors and dismissive assessments. Supreme Commander Vextor watched in horror as his tactical display showed the impossible. Earth, the supposedly minor power, was launching more ships than the combined fleets of the 5 largest empires in the galaxy. Final count: 1 million vessels, his sensor officer reported, voice hollow with shock. Chen continued her transmission. To the Craxus forces currently occupying our colony worlds, you have 24 hours to withdraw completely from our territory. Any Craxus vessel remaining after that time will be destroyed. To the Galactic Council, humanity will no longer accept second-class status. We expect a full review of all treaties imposed upon us. As she spoke, more ships continued to rise from Earth's oceans, their hulls still dripping with seawater as they joined the growing armada in orbit. 1 million ships, the greatest fleet the galaxy had ever seen. And it had been there all along, hidden beneath the waves of a planet everyone had underestimated. Chen ended the transmission and turned to her staff. Dispatch the 3rd Fleet to the outer colonies. It's time to take back what's ours. Rising tide. Fleet Captain Zara Okoi stood on the bridge of the dreadnought Ocean's Fury, watching as her battle group emerged from faster-than-light travel at the edge of the Proxima Centauri system. 80,000 warships, a force larger than the entire Craxus military, now surrounded the human colony world where Craxus forces had established their forward base. Tactical assessment, Okoi ordered. Commander Lucas Khalid responded immediately. 47 Craxus warships in system. Their orbital platforms are bombarding civilian centers on Proxima B. They've detected our arrival, but appear to be in disarray. Their communications indicate they can't believe our numbers. Okoi allowed herself a small smile. The Craxus had invaded expecting the token resistance of Earth's publicly known defense force. What they were seeing now defied everything they thought they knew about human capabilities. Open a channel to the Craxus command vessel, she ordered. On the main view screen, a Craxus officer appeared, his chitinous faceplates clicking nervously. Okoi recognized him as Vice Admiral Dvex, one of the Craxus Federation's most decorated commanders. This is Fleet Captain Zara Okoi of Earth's 3rd Fleet. Your forces have illegally occupied human territory. You have 1 hour to cease all hostile actions and withdraw from this system. Any ships remaining after that time will be destroyed. Dvex's mandibles twitched in what Okoi recognized as Craxus indignation. This is Vice Admiral Dvex of the 7th Expeditionary Force. We don't recognize your ultimatum. The Proxima system is now under Craxus protection. Okoi leaned forward. Look outside your viewport, Vice Admiral. Count our ships. Your force of 47 vessels is facing 80,000. This is not an ultimatum. It is a courtesy notification. She cut the transmission before Dvex could respond. Battle stations. Prepare to engage any Craxus vessel that doesn't immediately withdraw. Throughout the Ocean's Fury, crew members who had trained for decades in secret underwater facilities moved with precise efficiency. Weapon systems designed and refined over generations of hidden development powered up, their capabilities far exceeding anything the Craxus had encountered before. Within 30 minutes, 39 Craxus vessels had engaged their FTL drives and fled the system. The remaining 8, including Dvex's command ship, formed a defensive formation around the main orbital platform. They're attempting to hold the high ground over the colony, Commander Khalid observed. Okoi nodded. Deploy interdiction fields. No more escapes. Tactical Strike Group. Disable their engines and weapon systems. Minimal casualties. What followed wasn't so much a battle as a demonstration. 20 specialized human vessels moved in perfect coordination, their advanced point defense systems neutralizing every Craxus missile and energy weapon. Precision strikes disabled the alien vessels without destroying them, leaving them drifting and powerless, but with life support intact. In the Galactic Council chamber, representatives watched in stunned silence as tactical feeds from across human space showed similar scenes playing out at every occupied colony. Earth's hidden fleets, divided into task forces larger than most empires' entire militaries, systematically reclaimed territory with surgical precision. The council leader, an ancient Saurillian with translucent skin that revealed the nervous flickering of its multiple hearts, called for order as chaos erupted among the delegates. "This emergency session will come to order," it rasped. "We face an unprecedented situation." The Craxus ambassador slammed his armored appendage on the speaker's podium. "The humans have perpetrated the greatest deception in galactic history. They have violated council transparency protocols for centuries. They must be sanctioned." From her holographic position in the center of the chamber, Admiral Chen appeared unmoved. "Interesting position, Ambassador. Shall we discuss the Craxus Federation's recent violations of sovereign territory? Or perhaps the Council's recommendation that we surrender our colonies without even a symbolic condemnation of aggression?" Chen gestured, and new holographic displays appeared around her, showing evidence of other powers' deceptions: hidden military bases, illegal weapons development, prohibited resource harvesting from protected worlds. "The difference between humanity's deception and yours," Chen continued, "is that ours harmed no one. We built our fleet in secret because history showed us what happens to younger species who appear too capable too quickly. The older powers have a habit of ensuring such potential threats never reach maturity." The council chamber fell silent, the truth of her words uncomfortable but undeniable. "Humanity has no desire for conquest or revenge," Chen said, her voice softening slightly. "We want only what all sovereign species deserve: respect for our territory, fair treatment in trade and diplomacy, and the right to develop without interference." The Saurillian Council leader's voice quavered slightly. What does Earth demand?" "Not demands. Proposals," Chen corrected. "First, immediate recognition of all human colonial territories as sovereign and inviolable. Second, renegotiation of all trade treaties between Earth and Council members, to be conducted as equals. Third, a full investigation into the Craxus aggression and the Council's response, with appropriate consequences." Back on Proxima B, Captain Okoi stood on the surface of the colony world, watching as Earth vessels delivered humanitarian supplies to areas damaged by Craxus bombardment. Above, the captured Craxus ships were being escorted to Earth for analysis, their crews treated according to all galactic conventions for prisoners of war. Her communication device chimed with an incoming transmission from Earth. Admiral Chen's face appeared, looking satisfied but cautious. "Excellent work, Captain. The Proxima operation is being cited as a model of restrained power projection." "Thank you, Admiral. The colonists are safely returning to their homes. Damage was primarily to infrastructure rather than population centers." Chen nodded. "Good. The Council has accepted our initial proposals. The Craxus Federation is facing severe sanctions, and several other powers are suddenly very interested in improved relations with Earth." Okoi smiled. 200 years of patience is finally paying off." "That it is," Chen agreed. "But this is just the beginning. We've revealed our strength, but not all of our capabilities. The underwater shipyards continue operation, and Phase 2 development proceeds on schedule." Okoi raised an eyebrow. "The Jupiter and Saturn facilities." "Precisely. The fleet we've revealed is impressive, but the next generation will be transformative. Earth's oceans were just our first hiding place. 3 months after Operation Poseidon, the galaxy had adjusted to a new reality. Human representatives now sat on the highest council committees. Earth vessels patrolled trade routes previously dominated by older powers, and diplomatic missions from across the galaxy arrived daily seeking improved relations with the unexpected superpower." Admiral Chen stood once again at the viewing platform of Mariana Command. But this time she wasn't alone. The Saurillian Council leader floated in a specialized environmental suit, its multiple eyes wide, as it took in the vast underwater shipyard, extending for kilometers in every direction. "Impressive," the Saurillian admitted. "So this is where you built your miracle." One of many, Chen replied. We have similar facilities beneath every major ocean. And now you're decommissioning them. Chen smiled. Repurposing. With relations normalized, there's no need for secrecy. These facilities will become joint research centers, focused on technologies to benefit all council species. The Xorilian's skin rippled with what Chen had learned was their expression of surprised approval. A generous gesture. Many expected Earth to use its new position to dominate. That was never our goal, Chen said. Humanity learned long ago that true security doesn't come from military strength alone, but from building a system where aggression is never the profitable choice. As they spoke, above them on Earth's surface, the last of the million ships completed its patrol and returned to open ocean. Unlike before, it didn't disappear beneath the waves, but instead docked at one of the new floating platforms that now dotted the seas. Visible symbols of Earth's power, no longer hidden but integrated into a new galactic order where humanity's voice would never again be dismissed. The secret fleet had emerged from the depths, and with it, humanity's true place among the stars.